There are a lot of you that I know personally. A lot of you are my friends, my family, who genuinely support me. And for that, I really appreciate it. I get texts, messages, and kind support all the time, as well as just like, nice, that's cool, it's great you did that, or I liked watching that, which I need to say, I really do appreciate that. It does make me feel good to see that. Like the things that I'm doing are on the right path. A lot of what I do is something that makes me feel good. Maybe it's allowing my creativity to flow, or it's something that I feel that can help others. And by doing that, it gives me a sense of purpose, meaning, and fulfillment. And so hearing that it helps others or hearing that someone just enjoyed it, that brings me some joy. Like not everything I do has to be personal growth, driven, whatever. Sometimes it can just be fun or entertainment. And if something I do to entertain someone else gives them the entertainment, I enjoy that. When I was a kid, I used to do like little magic shows in front of my parents or make little videos and show it to people. And just to see them smile brought me so much joy. Still, today, I get so much joy out of bringing people entertainment, bringing them a smile, bringing them some kind of connection, because deeply connecting with someone else brings me a lot of joy, or offering them growth. I love reading about growth. And so when I can talk about it, like one of the main things on this channel that I do is talk about personal growth. Why? Because I love it. I've thought so many times about what this channel should be about because I'm traveling the world. I live in Vietnam, so I could film myself eating, I could film myself going to the beach or going on vacation. And to let you know, I do film a lot of that stuff. It just doesn't go up on YouTube. Why? I'm not really sure, but also it takes a lot of time to make videos, and I feel that it's really important to share the stuff that is supporting our mindsets. You can go on YouTube and watch infinite amounts of content of people traveling or going to beaches and doing stuff, and occasionally I'll watch stuff like that. So it all exists already. And so I don't feel inclined to go make that stuff because it's already out there. I'm not doing anything different on it. When I talk about personal growth or mindset stuff, it's my own view of how to see things, right? I'm not saying things are right or wrong. It's just my own view on how I see things. And that, I believe it's unique. So unique that there's not a whole bunch of people that are like, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted, right? It's what I feel is super niche. And almost a lot of times I feel like it's just my friends and family who watch these videos. And so again, I just want to say thank you. Like I really, really appreciate you watching these videos. I hope they offer some support. And if it's just like, I like listening to Michael talk a little bit, or I like understanding his mindset a little bit, awesome. Like I appreciate that. Thank you. And this is the kind of stuff I love talking about. So that's why I'm doing it. Some of my friends know when I'm with them in person, this is the same kind of stuff we talk about, mindset stuff, digging into our thoughts, what direction we want to go, if we're doing some of the stuff that feels truly aligned with who we are. I like that stuff. That's just who I am. That's the kind of stuff I talk about. And so these videos are that same thing. They're Michael videos, as some of my friends say. And so recently I've done something really important for my life, and I want to share that with y'all. Obviously, I keep moving this thing around. I'm just playing with something on camera. But this is something I have worked on for over 4 years. I want to say longer than that, but I know 4 years has been in the making to write my first book. This is called A Human's Guide to Change. I have always wanted to write a book my whole life. And I kept saying I would write a book before the age of 40. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out some time where it's like, I got to make sure it gets done. And so I decided before 40 years old, I was going to write a book. There's other stuff I want to do before 40, but this is one of them. And so I just turned 35 recently, and we got everything printed with the book and done right around my birthday. So right around when I turned 35, this was completely done. I'll give you a little sense of it. So I designed it, wrote it, everything. That's why there's tons of white space in here. I just designed it to look in a way that I thought was really, really nice and just easy to read. You can see how small this is. Because when I enjoy talking about stuff, it's really mentally deep within your mindset, your thoughts. And to be honest, that can sometimes be draining to people. I realize that. Like most of us just go on and we're just doing like fun stuff, or we're just having our thoughts, or we're just having small talk. And so I love this kind of this talk, and it energizes me, but it's not the case for everyone. And if you get a book that's massive, it might scare you. Let me show you that, for example. Here's a couple books that are really big. Principles by Ray Dalio. The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. And look, if you don't want to admit whether something scares you or not, that's fine, because I don't want to admit it either. But I'm going to admit something to you for the very first time ever about how I read books. So a lot of books I can enjoy and get through a whole book. For example, there are a few books that I have really enjoyed and liked. You can see how small these books are in comparison. This just holds up. Ray Dalio's Principles. That's like the size of all these books. But when you get a book that's, let's just say, this small, you feel like I could finish that, right? It doesn't feel too challenging. Size of the words and stuff might do as well as the complexity of the content in it. But these books don't really feel that scary. I really like this one, by the way, Cal Newport, Slow Productivity, if you're working on projects. You can see the words in it are pretty big. I took notes in it. So these feel comfortable to read, and I'm not afraid to finish them. Now, bigger books, like I said, these two, sometimes that comes in. I was pretty excited about this one. As you can see where these are, I haven't really made it that far into it. It just, different stages of life happen, and depending on where you are is how into certain content you're going to be. And so this fell off by the time I was moving forwards in it, because my life drastically changed. This one I also like, but I sit down and read some of it at times, and I haven't picked this back up in probably 10 months. Now, there are other bigger books. For example, there's another big one, Robert Greene's Mastery, which this content really, really resonated with me. And I zipped through this book. I really like this. But this copy, for example, is my girlfriend's copy. She read a little bit of it and really liked it, but then fell off. And that's really common when you get a big book to just fall off of it. And I'm showing you other books that I've fallen off of as well. If you got a book collection, it's cool because you could pick them back up every once in a while. But the thing is, you might not finish them. And so people sometimes don't buy books because they feel like they might not finish them. Well, I mean, look at the difference. This is the one that I wrote, A Human's Guide to Change. This compared to, any of these other books. Here's one of the thinnest ones that I got. This book is designed to be easy to read, to be read in one sitting, to be reread, to take notes in, to just feel comfortable with. Also, you can easily slot this in a bag. Like, imagine trying to put this in a bag or take a couple of these in a bag. What I wanted to be able to do was carry a few of them at any time and to have it not be too much in my bag at any given time. And also wanted the content in the book to be really impactful. And when it's a lot, for example, Mastery is, when it's a lot of really impactful information, then you're learning constantly. Like every single sentence, you're learning a lot. So it takes a lot to get through something like this. Doesn't mean you shouldn't read it. I think this is great content. But for many of us, maybe we haven't read in a while a book that's like this, or maybe we've completely fallen off of reading books, which has happened to me before in my life, and I know many of my friends have these stages where whatever else is going on in life. And how are you supposed to take time to read something like this if you believe you don't have that much time? Well, you have time for this. Everyone has time for something like this. And I made this book relevant to anyone that's wanting some kind of change in their life, meaning if you're living a path and you feel like something isn't aligned, something needs to change. You can't just keep living a life that you aren't fully enjoying or fully feeling fulfilled with or are unhappy with, because what's the point? I mean, you only have you only have one life. You're only living on this journey one time. So why not enjoy it? There's so many people that I've heard, and one of the reasons I felt compelled to write this, that they feel stuck in the way that they're living life. And it could be for a year, it could be for multiple years, it could be for decades. And to be honest, that's not that uncommon where people are living a life that they don't really enjoy for decades. It's too long. I mean, a year is too long. Really, that already is too long. There might be times in our life where we need to finish something before we can start something else. But what are we giving up in the process of doing that? And is that really important? Like, is that truly aligned with who we are, or are we convincing ourselves that we need to do that? This book talks a lot about those kind of concepts. There's no answers in here. This isn't telling you what to do. It's just allowing your brain to see other possibilities, other options, other ways of just seeing and analyzing things so that you can ensure you're on the right path for you. And because there's so much white space in it, like I mentioned, you can sit with some of those thoughts for a while. And you can always come back to it. I mean, each chapter, each little section is very short. So there's no burden in here. This is a very easy read. There's nothing very complex about it, but it does help you think about the way that you're living life to ensure you're heading in the right direction. And if you already feel like you're heading in the right direction, not only is that wonderful, but there can be other pieces of life that you want to change or alter. And this talks about a lot of different areas of life that you can improve, alter, think about differently. Because I personally feel that we can always improve some area of our life, which gives me a lot of meaning and purpose. Like, I love trying to improve other areas. I don't want to focus on it so much that it takes away from my life. The reason why I'm focusing on improving on most of the areas of my life is so that my life is better, that I enjoy it more, that I feel more fulfilled. And so a lot of this book aligns with that. And it's a lot of the thoughts that I've had over time to share and support others in the process for their growth. And so this book is not about me. I'm not talking about my story or anything. It's just concepts that I'm sharing in this book that will hopefully support my friends, my family, and anyone else that decides they want to get a copy of this. This is a Vietnam version. Because I live in Vietnam, I went to a print shop and I actually got this printed out. And I got a whole bunch of them printed out here in Vietnam. So if you live in Vietnam, just message me. They're not online or anything. But if you live in the United States, in Canada, in the United Kingdom, or anywhere in the world, it's on Amazon. I have finally put it on Amazon. And to be honest, it took a while because I've designed this whole book to feel so perfect. Just the design, the way to read it, there's a whole feeling that I wanted to display. And so far that people have been reading it in Vietnam and I've gifted a bunch of these out even in the States, they have really liked the book and the feel of it. And so the one on Amazon is slightly different, just a little bit bigger. And I wanted to double check that it was perfect before I made this video or sent this video out. And I have got confirmation that it looks and feels just as good as this one. And that took some time to redesign. So I've been waiting to post this video. I am really, really excited. If you're my friends and you're my family and just want to support me, that's awesome. I still feel like this could be an awesome read, but just to let you know, it's on Amazon. The link is below. I'm going to put each link with United States or UK because I have friends all over. The book is only $10. I don't want to make some really expensive thing, but I think there's a lot of information in here that can potentially change your life. So it's only $10 if you want a physical copy. If you want just an ebook, it's $3. So if you like reading on Kindle or ebook, it's just $3. Or if you use like Kindle Unlimited, it's free. I put it on Kindle Unlimited so you can just have it in your book collection. And so if you get the chance, or if you'd like to read it or support me or whatever it might be, I would love to hear your feedback. Because I know most of the people that follow me are my friends and family. If you want to support me and you are going to purchase a copy of this, like, freaking leave a review. That's going to really help. And the first 30 days that this goes live, those reviews are really going to help on Amazon just display it more. If people buy it, and Amazon can see that, and they leave reviews. Amazon will say, okay, this is something that we're going to keep displaying to people over the next 30 days. And so, I'd love it to be like legitimate, and if you like it and if you read it and really like it, like, yes, like leave a review. I would love that. Don't feel like you have to do anything that you don't feel comfortable with. But if you do that and you support me, let me know. I really, really appreciate that. And like, I'm going to say thanks in advance anyway. So thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Again, this book is in the link below. Just look below the video and give it a click if you're interested in buying. See you later, and thank you. Bye.